Hello, welcome everybody. We are live on Facebook and Instagram today. I'm gonna wait just a little bit to see if anybody's able to join us live. If you are joining and you're watching the replay, welcome. I'm super excited to have you here today. As you can see by the title, we kind of probably gonna get into some stuff that it might ruffle a little feathers, but I had to ruffle my own feathers, and if I didn't come and share it with you guys, then I would not be doing my due diligence. So I have to come and share it. So we're just gonna wait maybe like a minute or so for Instagram to let everybody know that I'm going live. Hello, welcome. How are you doing? Let me know where you are and what your business is about. Let me know where you are and what your business is about. If you're coming in, I really want to know. And because if you tell me, then maybe we can apply some of these things to our businesses right now, our businesses today. So probably just a few more seconds. I'm going to just wait. I see people coming in on Facebook. Hey, everybody. You guys know on Facebook, I cannot see you. So unless you comment, I don't know who you are, and I just don't know unless you comment. So let's have a conversation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop your questions in the comment section because I want to answer all the questions that I can. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Victoria Grace. I am a faith and business mentor. I am also a spiritual and generational wealth advocate. Oh my goodness. You got to have the spiritual wealth, and along with the spiritual wealth will come the generational and the financial wealth, okay? So I absolutely love all things faith and business. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm really here to just help you guys to level up and to become better, not only in your businesses, but to the people that you serve. We want to be servant leaders. We want to be the best that we can be at the product, the service, the offer, whatever it is that we're offering. And so, hey everybody, welcome y'all. Come on in. I'm super excited about this. You guys can see the title is Why Most Christian Service Providers Don't Make the Impact That They Want to Make. And I think, like I said before, this conversation, it may ruffle a little feathers, but I promise you it's in all love. All love. I promise you, all love. And I just want you to go into this with an open heart, open mind. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Open heart and open mind, just so that you can understand that God didn't give you the vision. He didn't give you the blueprint, the dreams, the aspiration, the drive to want to do any of this if he didn't want you to actually get out there and do it. So that's why I think that some of these things, I like to call them roadblocks. I think they will really help you and bless you in your business, even if you haven't started yet. So this is for my current and aspiring entrepreneurs, coaches, mentors, service providers, helping professionals. If you have a ministry of any type, this is for you, okay? Share this. Bring somebody else on in that you know that has a service business, that wants to start a service business, that is just looking to kind of step out on faith and they haven't really done that yet. Share this with somebody. I'm super excited today. For those of you that just joined us, I'm going to say it one more time. My name is Victoria Grace. I am a faith and business mentor, and I help kingdom-driven women, entrepreneurs, and individuals to organically build and launch service-based businesses with a high-ticket offer. And so, super excited to get into this today. So let's get right on in. If you need to, get you a pen and some paper, or you can always come back and watch the replay. Again, hello to you guys if you're watching the replay. And I want to just start off by saying, as a Christian entrepreneur, a Christian service provider, like I said, I have programs, I have a membership, and I provide a service to individuals who want to grow not only spiritually within their life, but spiritually, financially, and generationally within their businesses as well. And you may or may not know this, but I am the founder and CEO of Successful Servant Leader. We have a podcast and we have an academy. And if you don't know what Successful Servant Leader is, just to kind of sum it up really quick for you, it is anybody who is ready and willing to serve the people that God has called them to. We've all been called to serve. We've all been called to give back, if you will. We've all been called to serve somebody. We are not supposed to just be living life in a self-righteous way, only serving ourselves, only doing things that is going to benefit us. And so as servant leaders, our job, our mission is to serve. Our job, our mission is to help. And I know a lot of us, whether we are nurses, whether we are coaches, whether we are ministers, whether we have a Facebook group or we just get live on Facebook every day and we speak life into people, that's a way of serving. And so, whether you're a mom, okay, shout out to my moms out there, that is a area in which you serve. Sisterhood, whether you are a daughter, it's a way that you serve. Everything in life, we have room to serve someone else, okay? So I just want you to understand that. And then the success part comes in when we make the decision to truly be successful in being all that God has called us to be in that role of servant leadership. Let me say that again. The success part comes in of successful servant leader. It comes in when we make the choice. When we make the choice to be everything that God has called us to be, to go into everything that God has called us to be, even when we're scared, even when we're afraid, even when we feel like, I'm going to get into these roadblocks in just a second, but even when we feel like you can't do it, I know God has dropped something on the inside of you and you have to act on it. You have to do something with it. And maybe you've even already started the business. Like I said, this is for current and aspiring entrepreneurs. Maybe you've already started the business. However, one, you're not seeing the traction, you're not seeing the impact that you want to see yet, and two, you kind of go live maybe once a month, you maybe go live every few weeks, you maybe post once every few months, because you're nervous, or you may still have a 9-to-5 and you're just kind of like, I really don't all the way believe in myself anyway, so I'm gonna just keep at my 9-to-5 and not put too much work into this business that I've started, or this business that I'm aspiring to start. And so if that's you, it's okay, girl or guy. If you're on here, I know we have some guys on here as well on both Instagram and Facebook. It's okay. I've definitely been there. And these roadblocks, I believe that you understanding and acknowledging these things, these areas within your life, is going to help you to impact the people that you want to impact on a larger scale. It's going to help you go from feeling like you're not doing enough to, okay, God, give me more capacity to be able to do more. Help me in this season of doing more. Help me in this season of enlargement of my territory. And so, like I said, why most Christian service providers don't make the impact that they want to make is because of three things that I just see continuously. The first thing is the spirit of paralysis. The second thing is that you're feeling unqualified. And the third is that you just don't know what to do and you aren't seeking out help in doing so. And so going back to that first thing, the spirit of paralysis, if you were with me on Tuesday, shout out to you. If you were not with me on Tuesday, make sure you go back and watch that video. But the spirit of paralysis, you guys, this is something that has really, it's been a fight for me. But me acknowledging it, me accepting it, and me taking the opportunity and the drive and asking God for the strength and the endurance to combat that thing has me to where I am today. That's why it's number one on the list, because the spirit of paralysis is the fear. The spirit of paralysis is anxiety. The spirit of paralysis is anything that keeps you stuck, anything that keeps you from moving forward, anything that kind of clouds your judgment, clouds your memory, clouds your ability to just be bold and whatever it is that God has told you to do. that is the spirit of paralysis. If you obviously paralysis, anything that's going to keep you from moving, right? And so I want you to understand that and acknowledge that. And if you feel like the spirit of paralysis is running rampant in your life, do it. Say this with me. I'm just going to give this to you off the fly, but come with me right now and say, I rebuke the spirit of paralysis right now. It has no room in my life. It has no room in my life because God has called me to be great. He's called me to be wonderful, impactful, transformational. He's called me to be a better sister, a better brother. He's called me to be a better person at my 9-to-5 job. He's called me to do all these different things. And I just rebuke that spirit of paralysis right now because I'm trying to tell you guys that thing is so strong. That thing is so strong, especially fear. Y'all, everybody can understand fear. I'm sure you guys can all understand the magnitude of fear. Whenever we are afraid, whenever we are fearful, the fight or flight response is something that we all have, right? The fight or flight response tells us to fight or run. And a lot of the times when we encounter fear, anxiety, anything that is like, oh, I don't know about going live. Oh, I don't know about speaking in front of these people. Oh, I'm not sure if anybody's going to want to listen to me. Oh, I really am not even confident within myself to even give anybody my testimony, to even share my testimony, even though I know somebody needs to hear it. I've had confirmation upon confirmation upon confirmation to let me know that every time I tell my story, somebody is impacted. Every time I share my testimony, somebody is impacted. But it's still something on the inside of me that's telling me, your story doesn't really matter. Your testimony ain't gonna do nothing. Maybe you should just be quiet. And I think the idea of a muzzle, you can kind of think of a muzzle. I think that's something that a lot of us Christian service providers go through. Like I said, whether you are currently a service provider or you are an aspiring service provider, think of a muzzle. Fear can be a muzzle, literally a muzzle like that you put over your mouth that will keep you from speaking. And I don't know if I've ever said this to you specifically that may be on these lives right now, but someone somewhere is depending on your obedience. Someone somewhere is depending on you to tell your story. Someone somewhere is waiting for you to give your testimony. And so I need you to understand that spirit of paralysis is so real. And the spirit of paralysis cannot just, it may not just stem from, oh, I'm just afraid to speak. I have stage fright, or I'm afraid to share my story, or I'm afraid what people might think. But like I said in the last video, if you were with me on Tuesday, it could stem, that spirit of paralysis, all the different things that is accompanied or, that's balled up into the spirit of paralysis can be something that happened to you when you were a child. It can stem from something that happened to you in your teenage years. It can stem from something that you still have not dealt with yet. So it has to be unrooted. It has to be removed. It has to be taken away from the situation so that you can clearly and effectively transform the lives that God has called you to transform. And I really hope that makes sense. If y'all have any questions, please pop them in the comments and let me know. So the second thing that is the reason why most Christian service providers don't make the impact that they want to make is they feel unqualified. I can definitely say from my own experience of going from college graduate to business owner of brick and mortar assisted living facilities to business owner of my own business, coaching and consulting individuals. I went through each different stage and phase of feeling unqualified. And I felt that way because no, your girl does not have an MBA. I don't have a master's of business administration. My husband does, or he will soon, but that's not me. No, I don't have no certificates. I actually study behavior. I study behavior in an organizational management way, and I study behavior in a therapeutic way. And what I teach my clients is how to change their behavior so that when they are in business, their behaviors will not contradict all the work that they're putting in to have the business that they've built. And not only, of course, I do other things, but that's the basis of everything that I do. I come from a scientific point of view, so I like to use things that are proven. I like to use things that have results for them. And so with that being said, going into the business aspect, when all I had ever studied was the scientific study of behavior, which is applied behavior analysis, I was like, God, I got my business, God, I got my program. I came up with all of these systems that you gave me, and I'm so grateful for it, but I'm supposed to teach other people how to do this when I don't even have a business certificate? And what I want you to know and understand is the answer is yes, if that's what he told you to do. Period. The answer is yes. And so he introduced me to different programs and different things where I could learn how to be a better coach, where I could learn how to be a better mentor, where I could learn how to be a better business person, where I could learn how to truly have a service-based business that provides transformation and impact on a lasting basis. Not just you finna make $1 million overnight and you don't know how to keep that up and sustain that. None of this stuff that you guys probably see for the most part on social media. And the reason why this is so important to me and why I feel like a lot of Christian service providers struggle with this is because, for one, God has told you to not only be in business and have this service business and do the service that you do, but he's also told you to mix that thing with faith and business. He's told you, like, you're going to go out here and be a mouthpiece for me. You're going to go out here and serve these people, but also your faith is not going to be something that is on the back burner where you keep it in the chest and you don't talk about it. You're going to share. But you also going to have the facts, so you also going to know how to tell them how to get from where they are to where they want to be in your program. Yes, they said these points are giving me life. I'm so happy they are, because I want our service businesses to transform the lives that God has called them to transform. He didn't give us the idea for no reason. So I'm pretty sure you've seen this before or heard this before as well. But if God told you to do it, you're already qualified. That's just a whole point in and of itself. If God told you to do it, he gave you the blueprint. He gave you everything. You're already qualified. It's just a matter of you getting past the mental and the social things where it's like, you got to have this piece of paper. You got to do this. You got to have this first. You got to have this training. I know that for a lot of individuals who have started ministries, they took forever to start a ministry because the norm is, if you're going to be up there preaching and you're going to be sharing the word, then you need to be up under a pastor, or you need to be up under somebody in a church setting. But that's just not the case. And I'm not saying that if you've done that's bad. That's really great. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not taking that from you. And if you are under a pastor, I'm Christian. I love pastors, okay? Like, I'm not saying that that's bad. But what I am saying is that if God has called you to do it and he's called you to speak, you don't need to go to some other person regardless of how you feel. A pastor is somebody who is of the earth. He's in the world just like the rest of us. And so if God told you to do it, you're already qualified. If he told you to get up there and talk about Psalms 91 every single day, and you've never asked a pastor to read over your notes or anything like that, you're qualified because he told you to do it. Okay? Period. And I think that's another thing, that's why it's on this list, that a lot of us Christian service providers, we struggle with, because we're like, we want to do things God's way. We want to have a business God's way. We want to do business God's way, and we want to impact people in the way that God wants us to impact them. However, we're kind of like, well, I also want to enter in that faith a little bit. And when I start to talk to my clients, I notice that I get to preaching, but I can't possibly be doing that because I don't have a pastor or somebody over me. And I'm not saying that you don't need to have accountability. You don't need to have somebody to make sure to keep you in check. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you cannot allow the fact that you don't have a pastor or somebody over you in that capacity to tell you, or to put it in your mind that you can't do what God has told you to do because you were not doing it with a church or with a pastor or whoever. I'm going to take a quick break just to see if there's any comments. Okay, you guys are saying this is making sense. Quote of the year: if God told you to do it, you're already qualified. Yes, yes, yes. Write that down in your notes. Write that down in your notes. This is a season of restoration. Y'all, I'm about to get to preaching a little bit. Not even trying to preach, but this is a season of restoration. A lot of us have lost a lot of things this year. A lot of us have lost a lot of things and people this year. We are going into a season of restoration. We are going into a season of abundance for God's people. We are going into a season of blessings and enlargement of territory. But the question is, are you going to go along for the ride? You got to continue to be obedient. If you are going along for the ride, you got to continue with the obedience. You have to do whatever it is that you know you need to do, regardless of if it looks like in the natural that it's not working. Regardless of if it looks like in the natural that you're not qualified. Regardless of if the spirit of paralysis is holding you back and it feels like it's suffocating you. You got to speak out of your mouth. I can breathe. Like, I'm not suffocated by this anymore. I no longer will allow fear to hold me back. I no longer will allow anxiety or the fear of speaking aloud to hold me back. I will no longer allow this muzzle to be over my mouth. Literally, y'all, remove the muzzle. Like, with me, remove the muzzle, rip it off. Literally rip it off. Like, y'all think I'm playing. I know sometimes people probably think I'm playing, but I'm so serious. Rip that thing off of your mouth. Remove any scales from your ears and remove any scales from your eyes so that you can speak and speak everything that God wants you to speak and that he wants you to do. Okay? So my last point today, my last roadblock today is you just don't know what to do and you don't seek the help to do so. And so I really wanted to get into this one because for me, I learned this word from somebody who definitely has made an impact in my life. Her name is Tatum Tamia, and she calls it being a pioneer, which is very fitting. And a pioneer is somebody who got there first, somebody who's doing it first. I'm sure you guys have heard of first generation college students, first generation whatever. I'm a first generation a lot of things, okay? And there was nobody before me that had a business that was sustainable. My mom had started a business while I was in high school, and for whatever reason it didn't work out. And once I graduated with my bachelor's, I think now looking back on it, I'm like, okay, God, you had all of this. You did all of this in your timing. You did all of this in your timing, because once I was done with school, it was immediate like, okay, Victoria, I need you to help me. This is my mom, right? Okay, Victoria, I need you to help me with this, and this. I got to get licensed for this facility. Your girl just graduated with at the time, your girl had just graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology, minoring in social work and leadership. So I did have, the little bit of leadership in there. I had that little bit of minor, but your girl just graduated with a bachelor's in psychology and social work. Where in there did I learn how to get an entire assisted living facility, 6+ beds, licensed? Y'all tell, that's why I want to share with you guys how awesome God is, how awesome he is, and how he will take you into something to where you never even knew you was going to be doing. Never knew that I was going to be doing anything like that. I knew she talked about the business. I knew she had the business before, and I knew it was something that she wasn't going to give up on. But actually getting her license, I thought she was going to call somebody else for that. She's the nurse, so she doesn't know anything about business. She knows how to care for people and help people, but she knows nothing about business. And she called upon me to do so, and it was my job to figure that thing out. And just so you guys know, I did. Okay, she is licensed with a 6-bed assisted living facility since 2017. And Actually, as of today, it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. It's her birthday, and I not only did the math, but every bed is filled in her facility, and she has a wait list. Like, God is just so great. And I want to share that with you as well, because he can do the same thing for you and your business. But what I want you to understand is she knew she could not get licensed on her own. She knew that she didn't know the business side of things. She understood that. And so she was like, okay, my daughter is smart. Let me give it to her. Now, for me, obviously I had to do my research. Obviously I had to learn some things. Obviously I had to figure some things out. But for her, put yourself in her shoes. She said, I know I can't do this on my own, and I know this thing got to come to fruition, so I got to ask for help. And so that's my message to you guys today. That's my message to you guys today. You have to know when it's time to ask for help. You have to know when it's time to say, okay, God, I know it's something here. I don't know everything. I know my craft. I know what the service that I'm providing. I know that off the back of my hand. I know how to help people. But what I don't know is the business side of things. What I don't know is how to create an offer that is going to be transformational and impactful, and it's going to make sense, and it's not going to have too much information in it, and it's going to have enough information in it. What I don't really know is how to speak directly to the people that I serve. And if that's you, that's okay. It's okay. What I want to leave you guys with is never get to the place to where you know too much to where you can't learn anything. Never get to the place to where you just so big-headed and you just know so much that you're not willing to learn anything. Okay? I want to make sure I got all my notes here for y'all. And another thing where I feel like people don't seek help, especially Christian service providers, they don't seek help because a lot of the service providers that are out there, a lot of the coaches, the mentors, the gurus, they don't have the same values and morals as you. And I think that it just takes the time to look for that, right? It just takes the time to look for that. Just because the big name people are doing something that you know you don't really align with to get from where you are now to where you want to be, doesn't mean that you have to go ahead and do that because that's the only option. Because trust me, that's not the only option. There's so many coaches, mentors, service providers out here that are faith-based and are going to lead you back to the Bible. Period. They're not going to have you doing anything that's not in alignment with God's word. And so that's what I really want to leave you guys with today. I'm super excited and happy for all of you guys that stayed with me on both Facebook and Instagram. If you guys have any questions, pop them in there. I'm gonna wait a little minute to see if anybody has any questions. But for you guys here on Facebook, click that link. If you want free business tips every week, if you are ready to be like, I'm done, I'm ready to go ahead and turn my business into everything that I know that God has called it to be, click the link. I'm going to put it in the comments here on Instagram as well. The link is in my bio as well on Instagram, but I am going to put it in the comments for you guys. Click the link and join the email list. Join the email list so that you can get the business tips that you need, so that you can focus on being the coach and the mentor and the service provider and the helping professional that you are. And then I can send you free tips, right? Free tips to help you within your business, so you don't have to spend time searching for it, so that you don't have to waste time trying to figure what works and what doesn't. Okay? Like, I'm telling you, it took me a lot of time, lots of time and energy that I wish I could get back, but I'm happy that I learned it because now I can share it with you guys. So it's bit.ly/the successful servant leader. Okay. And you guys, I actually need to get better at this. Now, for me, for example, I need somebody to help me with social media. And I'm okay. I can admit that. Because all that stuff, like, oh, here it is. I pinned the comment. There we go. bit.ly/the successful. Nope. See, I didn't spell it right. See, if you still here with me, you are the real MVP. You are the real MVP, okay? Just so you know, I will be back here next Tuesday and Thursday with more gems for you to prepare you and your business for 2021, because we're not going into 2021 the same way that we came into 2020. And even if you came into 2020 better, changed, all of that, and then the pandemic just kind of messed you up, I get it. Trust me, because I fell off a little bit and I had to get myself back in order. And so I'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday for the month of December. SCCC. For the month of December, dropping gems for you guys, for you helping professionals. Okay, now it's spelled right. Period. The successful servant leader. Now it's pinned. Okay. I figured it out. I definitely just want to wait and see if anybody has any questions, any comments. Did you enjoy this today? What was your favorite thing that you got out of it? Let me know. Jackie on Facebook says that her favorite thing was feeling unqualified, and that's how she's been feeling. And I can definitely relate, girl. I can definitely relate. And now that you have identified that thing, and now that you have understood exactly what it is, now it's time for you to pray against it. Use the power that you have. If you don't really know how to pray, if you're new to this faith thing, but you know you have it, you know you believe, or even if you don't even believe yet, check out the link in my bio. This same link that you guys are going to click, bit.ly/the successful servant leader. Listen to the podcast. Listen to the Successful Servant Leader podcast. This whole year, the rest of this year is pretty much going to be focused on the spiritual things, because as business providers and as individuals who are going to be doing business God's way, we got to be tuned into our spirit man. We have to be tuned into our spirit man. We have to understand and know that decisions that we make, people that we meet, we need to have that discernment on lock. It's important. Very important. The spiritual always goes with the physical. The spiritual always goes with the physical. And I'm sure it's a lot of people who probably tell you, leave your faith out of everything. Leave this over, leave it. I'm not leaving it nowhere. I just can't. Because in this world, in this day and age, there is no telling, first of all, there is no telling who you are encountering. Let's just keep it real. Let's go into it a little bit. There is no telling who you're encountering on a day-to-day basis, online or offline. And as business owners, period, even if you don't believe, you have to have some type of discernment so that you know who you're working with. Because regardless of if you believe or not, snakes are real, and they disguise themselves as people. People come in the form of snakes, and they will disguise themselves as sheep. They'll come to you as, really nice, really caring, really sweet, wanting to help you, wanting to learn from you, when really they want to sink their teeth in and take everything up out of you. And you guys got to understand the spiritual aspect. You got to have that spirit of discernment on lock, okay? There was one more thing I want to share with you guys, but it kind of slipped my mind. But I think I said everything for today. These are the main reasons why most Christian service providers do not see the impact that they want to see and that God has told them to make. Number one, the spirit of paralysis. Number two, you just feel unqualified, which is an absolute lie from the enemy. And number three, you don't know what to do and you don't seek help about not knowing what to do. Instead of saying, I don't really know how to work Instagram, I could be up here trying to sit up here, waste all this time working Instagram when my time could be on my clients, right? when my time could be elsewhere, making my life better, I decide not to get the help that I need. But your girl has gotten the help that she needs, okay? I have gotten some help, just so y'all know. I am also a doer of the things that I'm telling you. That's another thing. Oh, I'm going to just add this in. If you're still here with me today, like I said, you the real MVP. And another reason why most Christian service providers do not see the impact that they want to see is because they're not doers. They're hearers of the word, and they're not doers of the word. Faith without works is dead. It just is. You have to get out there and do something. You cannot just sit there and think that God is about to do it for you. He gave you the blueprint. He gave you the idea. He gave you the business name. He gave you the topic for the podcast. He gave you the topic for the YouTube video, but you still haven't done it. No. This is not the Old Testament where he just gonna, not saying that he can't do this, because God can do all, right? He can do any and everything, but he's not just about to pop up and take your hand and just start moving and writing. You actually gotta be like, okay, let me put myself in a position for God to use me. Let me actually do the stuff and show him that I want to get to the point. I want to see these great things that I know he has for my life. I want financial freedom. I'm tired of this job not valuing me as the powerful person that I am. I'm tired of being muzzled and being quiet. I'm just tired of it. When are you going to be tired of allowing the fear and the anxiety to control your life and the spirit of paralysis to control your life? When are you going to be tired of the limiting belief that you're not qualified? When are you going to be tired of spending hours and hours on Google when you could just simply ask somebody to help you out? Help you out so it don't take you all day. So I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to let you guys go. Like I said, I'll be back here Tuesday and Thursday. I'm doing a consistency challenge this month for myself. And so I'll be back here every single week, twice a week for the month of December. You guys, there's 5 weeks in December, I believe. And, it's a long month, but I'm ready and I'm prepared to gather and accept everything that God has for me in 2021. And I want you to be the same way. So make sure you click the link in my bio, join the email list. Let me know if you have any questions in the DMs, and I'll see you guys next week.